Yes, can you hear me, colleagues, pharmacists? Please, you can unmute and give me a response.
Yeah, good evening. Good evening.
Good evening, good evening. Let me just see the names there. Abu Greek, you present? Can you unmute and say hi? Okay, Uriel, you have unmuted yourself, so you can say hi.
Well, I said good evening earlier.
You said that good evening earlier on. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful voice. Bernadette, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, Tony. Good evening.
Okay, that's good evening. That's wonderful. Carl, can we hear your voice, please? Okay.
Yeah, Tony, are they here? Tony, are they here?
You did there. Okay. Mr. President, think Fori.
Yeah, I'm here. Yes.
You don't do roll call.
Master,
if we are classes, we can't do roll call.
Yes, we've not heard each other's voices for
a long time. Yeah.
Let's just Henry, can you just say hi to us?
Hello, yeah, I'm here. I'm on the line. Hello.
Yeah, okay, we can hear you, Henry.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Welcome. Yes, everybody. We can hear you. Thank you. Welcome. We appreciate your presence.
Yeah, Tony, I'm here.
Is that Jenny? Okay, Juliet.
No, this is Abu.
Abu Gray. Okay, yes, Abu Gray. Yeah, okay, that's great. Long time Abu Gray. Yes, okay. Yeah, okay.
Hi, Tony. Hi,
yes.
everyone.
That's Juliet, and who else have I not called? I think Dorothy. There's no Dorothy. Dorothy is from an insurance company. Who is Evelyn? Is it Evelyn Sewa? And who is using Samsung? Oh, David Sewa. Oh, okay. That's wonderful, beautiful. And Pamela. Okay. So thank you all very much. I guess the others will join us pretty soon. I've just been chatting. Well, somebody says having difficulty logging in. Okay, let me reshare the link and briefly, and then we proceed. Okay, so others will join us pretty soon. So today we are privileged to have Madame Efwa with us. I mean, she's not new to pharmacy or pharmacy 2000. She's our broker, as it were, for the group insurance that we have subscribed to so far. And today she said she has got some good news for us, and she wants to share with us. So without much ado, we welcome. And well, I thought we were chatting behind the scene, and she said she attended Ebri Girls from Form 1 to Upper. So she said she knows Uriel and Lydia very well. So she's welcome home. I think that's Abugis, eh? Uriel, yes. Is that how you call your name? Yes, Abugis. Okay, that's good. I thought she rather went to Motown. You know, I would have reached that. Such a beautiful lady would have attended Motown. So, Efwa, over to you. Tell us what you have to tell us today.
Okay, thank you very much. Please, my name is Efwa, as Dr. Hammer said. Good evening to Mr. Tenkwa.
Yes, good evening.
Long time.
Yes, I'm around. Oh, I hope everything is fine.
Yes, everything is well. And I hope everything is well with the group policy too.
Yes.
And good evening to everybody. Today, I think I'm going to try and keep this very simple because it's almost 8 o'clock. I did a presentation for Motown, OAA, and Dr. Hammer asked whether I could do the same thing, and I said, why not? So today we are going to talk about financial wisdom as we age. And I would like to have a very interactive section. If you want to ask any question, you could either put it in the chat or hold on to your question when I'm done, and then we could have a discussion. I have my IT guy on, so as the presentation goes on, you hear me say, Richard, can you help me with this? Can you help me with that? Can you bear with me? So Richard, can you make me the host so that I can share the presentation? So I work for an institution called Assure Advisors. We are an insurance intermediary. We service all the insurance lines of business, general insurance, group life, which you are on. We did that with Enterprise Life. We do the health policies. And of course, we do have our claims department that helps to manage claims of our clients and any prospective clients who wants their claims to be handled. Today, as I said, is going to be based on financial wisdom as you age, the role of insurance. Richard, can you kindly lower your video, please? Before we start the presentation, I would like to share a little poll with you. Basically, I want to have an idea of what we know as insurance, whether we have insurance, whether we do not, and how so that I'll be able to know exactly how this presentation should be handled. So I'll let Richard share a poll, and please kindly answer the poll for me. So Richard, can you share the poll? Richard, kindly share the poll, please.
Yes, he's sharing it.
It looks like I'm the only one who can't see the poll being shared. Please, if you can see it, can you kindly let me know? Can you see the poll?
Yeah, yes, we can see. So the results are displayed there. I think
wow.
88% answered yes, and then 13% answered no.
Okay, thank you, doctor. Okay, and Richard, can you share the second one? Okay, Doc, please, can you help me with the second one? I seem not to still be able to see it from my end.
No, yes, he shared it. So I think they are participating. The results are yet to be displayed. So the poll results are 86% have life insurance, 57% have health insurance, 14% have home insurance, and 14% personal insurance. Thank you.
Oh, wow. Interesting. I have a very educated group, insurance group of people. So it's going to make my presentation pretty simple. Yeah, I just don't have pharmacists, but I have insurance professionals too. Thank you very much. So I'll go on with the presentation. Richard, okay, thank you, Richard. Okay. Okay. So today my presentation is going to be pretty simple. As I said, I'm going to do introduction, then I'm going to understanding the financial wisdom, the life stages of financial planning, the role of insurance, cross life stages. Then we talk about the types of insurance. And from the poll I have, I think we are pretty well educated on that. So I'll keep it pretty simple. Then we do the factors to consider when choosing insurance, the financial wisdom and risk mitigation. And then I'll end with the strategies for smart insurance decision. The only way to be truly financially secure is to have multiple streams of income. That's by Suze Orman. And the definition of financial wisdom is making prudent decisions that secure one's financial future. And then the factors influencing financial wisdom cuts across the age of the person, the life stage the person is at, the risk tolerance of people. In insurance, we say we have people who love risk. We have some people who are indifferent about risk. And then we have people who run the other way when they hear any risk, anything about risk. And then, obviously, we talk about the financial goals of the person. What is the financial goal of the person in question? Okay. Now let's talk about the financial planning across the life stages. When I won't start from when we are babies because we don't know much, we are children, but I'll start from when we are teens. You can imagine your teenage child or daughter, all they think about is education, education, education. And then you get those who think about vacation. So for such a stage, what do they need? Of course, that means that we have to plan and aim for vacation. Are we taking them to London, or are we taking them to Go, or are we taking them to Tamale? And education, what kind of education do we need? Do we want our children to have? So that means that their financial planning will be impacted. Will we have to start before they are born, or do we have to wait till they get to their teenage age? We have to wait till they get to the teenage age, that means that we are going to be running too late. But if we have to start, then there are policies like the education policy that we can take and put aside so that we can give them the best education possible. And if we want to take them for trips, then of course, we are talking about saving treasury bills. You can buy the fixed deposits, or you can do the investment insurance policies so that you can put aside some money for vacation. Then we move into the 20s. When we are in the 20s, now we are done with education. What are we looking at? We are looking at establishing a career path and occupation. During this time, we are thinking all about the good job to have. Is this the right job? But it's important we also save because we are going to move into our 30s where we get married, we have to establish our business, we need a house. So we are still talking about saving, fixed deposits, bonds, treasury bills. We are talking about our investment policies in the insurance industry, all those things just to put aside so that we can be able to have the house or even establish a business in our 30s. I mean, for the pharmacy group, I'm sure a lot of us have pharmacy shops. So that means that we have to plan on getting a shop, buying medicine to put in a shop, and all that comes to being a pharmacist. Then we move into the 40s. There we have to establish or plan towards our estates and then wealth protection. At that point, we need to protect our wealth. We need to protect that business we have established. And how can we do that? I mean, for my business, when I talk about establishing protecting my business, I think about key man protection. Key man is basically saying that we have an insurance policy that protects the key decision makers of this establishment, so that in case they are not around, the company has amount of money put aside to train and replace that qualified person. And that is protection I think about. So that means I have to buy a key man. What again do I think about? I think about workman compensation for my staff, because they're very important part of the business. I think about home insurance. I think about content insurance, because all those things are things I need to use to protect my wealth. It, I also think about estate planning. Um, what kind of house am I building? If I'm going to use, for example, 1 million Ghana cedis to build a house, am I going to leave it unprotected? It's all very important. Then we move into when we are 50. That's when we start thinking about retirement and vacation. What kind of lifestyle do we want? Do we want to retire and go back to the village, or we want to retire and have the vacation and go and sit on Bahamas Ocean and just have a cocktail? That means that we need to plan towards that. We need to plan towards retirement. Does that mean that we just depend on SNET and payee, or do we take an extra third tier pension, or do we put aside some money, income protection, protect our income, so that at that age we can take out some money and then have that kind of retirement that we want. Then of course we get to the 60s where it's totally for us to do whatever we want to do with the money we have saved. So these are the various kind of some of the various kind of financial planning we need across the life stages. Then the insurance needs for different life stages. I've spoken about some, but as a young person, what do you need? And in Ghana, a lot of us will say, oh, young, oh, no, I don't need anything now. Why do I have to take insurance? I always tell my clients, the best time to take any insurance policy is when you're in your 20s, because the rates are cheaper, you pay less for a bigger benefit. So when you're young, what kind of policies can you take? You can take an education policy. That is when you want to save and be able to further your education. You can also do a pension policy. Little drops of water makes a mighty ocean. So if you start at the age of 23, towards the time you're about 60, that means that even if you save 50 cedis every month, you can imagine how much money you have when you're 60. When you're a married couple with young kids, you need to protect your income. If you are earning, for example, 10,000 Ghana cedis now, what happens to you when you cannot earn that money? For example, if you should have stroke, what will happen to your family? And you have young kids. You need something to constantly provide them with the same level of income so that your children are not affected. What kind of insurance policy do you need? You can protect them. We have the income protection policies that you can take to protect your source of income. If you have a shop, what happens when the place burns down? Are you going to go into your savings to pick up money and rebuild that shop? No. If you have shop protection, I think Mr. Tim Crab can talk about that. If you have that, then you have protected your pharmacy. So if something happens to your pharmacy, you know the insurance company is there to take care of that. You can also have your drug stock insurance. You can protect it so that if something happens to your stock, the insurance company is there to help you out. You don't need to always go back to that savings that you have kept for retirement to go and use it to get your shop back to the stage it was at. When there is flood, when there is theft, you have insurance policy for them. And your house, what happens? A client of mine 2 years ago was at home, sorry, in his office when he was called that his house was burning down. If he didn't have insurance, it means that he would have had to go and look for money and rebuild the house. He had insurance and he had an extension for rent. So he was paid rent for 6 months whilst the house was being built for him. And the good thing is he was able to redesign the house the way he now wanted it because he bought an estate house. Then working individuals who are supporting aged parents. I mean, I'll talk about myself. I have an aged mother. what do? I've provided her with a private health card because that takes away the burden of me always having to call her and check up and make sure that she's gone to the hospital. With a card, she just walks into any hospital and she's taken care of. She walks into any pharmacist with a prescription and she gets a drug. And what again have I done? Taking the funeral policy on her. I mean, a lot of people don't want to hear that, but it is the reality of life. Have a transition policy because I know when the time comes, I don't want to be burdened with where are you going to? Are you going to Kolebu? Are you going to 37? Are you going to Children's Hospital? I think that is too tedious. So yes, I've done that. And the house she lives in, I've protected it so that if something happens, I don't have to bear that cost. And then I think I've already spoken about retirees, what you can do. You can protect your income, you can do an investment so that when you are on retirement, you can have something to look up to and something to help you through that period. My mom told me one thing. She said, "You don't know when you will die, so you always have to have enough money on you that would last you till you are 90 years, you are 100 years, because you never know when you will die." And I think it's something I have taken and I'm trying to plan towards that. What are the types of insurance we have? We have the life insurance policies. I think the pharmacy group is on one, which is the group life. We also have the individual policies that an individual in the group can take for themselves. I always say that you cannot put a value on anyone's life, so you can take as many life insurance policies. And let me stress that out, life insurance policies that you can take so far as you are capable of paying the premiums, because that is the most important thing. And then we have the health insurance, which you can have, and it can take you to over 600 clinics across the country. We have the disability insurance. With your group life, you do have a disability benefit, which is a total permanent disability. So we have products that covers disability, something like the personal accident policy. It does cover disability policies, disabilities, and you can take that as an individual. Then we have the auto, which is very mandatory in Ghana. So everybody with a car has the motor. What we don't know is that the motor has the personal accident cover for the motor is only 7,000 Ghana cedis, meaning that if you should have an accident today, you have only 7,000 Ghana cedis you can access. That's the driver or the mate to cover you in terms of medical or whatever happens during the accident. I want to ask a question here. Please, how many of you know that when you are driving, you get to a railway and you park your car on the railway tracks and a train hits you, your car is not insured? Hello?
You meant to say the car is not insured or the insurance will not pay.
The insurance will not pay for it, sorry. How many of you know that? Hello?
Yes, colleagues, we can answer.
Okay, let me ask another question. How many people know that when you go to a mechanic and you leave your car there and there's an incident, the insurance policy does not cover for that, so you cannot claim?
Yeah, it didn't happen on the road.
Thank you, Prince, because it didn't happen on the road. So that there we go. So those are little things that people don't know about the motor insurance, but it is very important we know. Then we talk about the home insurance and then the travel insurance. Travel, when you're traveling out of the country, you can take insurance that will cover you for any accidental death, accident, or anything that happens during your trip. Recently, one of my clients went to Germany. He was on the excavator and then he fell and he had to go to the hospital. And his travel insurance really came handy. So that's something I always advise people who travel, especially those who travel a lot, to have. Key factors to consider when choosing insurance. To assess your specific needs. I mean, you should know your needs so that you take the most appropriate insurance. For example, let me use a pharmacy, for example. If you are renting the building, do you need to have to insure the building? No, because that isn't your liability. Your liability is only the stock in the shop. So that means that your need is a stock insurance, not the building insurance. Then you should understand the coverage option. What exactly do you need to cover? Because it comes with different covers. And you evaluate the reputation and financial stability of the insurance provider, which is very important because you need insurance provider to be liquid so that they are able to pay when the time is due. I always say it's not about payment of premium, it's about the payment of claims because that is when the client actually appreciates insurance. And then you need to review your policy terms and conditions. There are a lot of things in the policy that you need to understand, like what is a deductible, what is an SS, and what happens when there's an accident, how much I pay in terms of my deductible. All those things are terms and conditions that you need to know. One of them is what I just asked. When you park your car in a mechanic shop overnight and something happens, does that mean you are covered? You need to know that. And then you should seek expert advice when you think you don't understand. I think it's important you seek expert advice. Insurance as a risk management tool, mitigating financial risk associated with health, property, and longevity. It's very important. Insurance is what we use to mitigate these financial risks. Financial protection is like a table with four legs. You should be able to balance it. So you should have your bonds, you should have your shares, your fixed deposits, you should have your treasury bills, you should have your real estate, and then you should have your insurance. So it becomes really stable. Peace of mind, reducing stress and uncertainty by having a safety net in place. It's so important. When you have insurance, there's a way you behave. You know you have peace of mind. When you know your house is insured, you leave home, yeah, fine. Because you know whatever happens, you have a safety net. It's important we all find that. And then long-term financial planning, supporting overall financial stability and wealth preservation. So at every time, we need to make sure that we have a long-term financial plan. What our fixed deposit is there for, what our treasury bills is meant for, what our insurance is meant for. It's very important we plan. Financial planning is so important. Strategies for smart insurance decisions. We regularly review our policies, reevaluating our policy needs as life circumstances change. Today, a prospective client was telling me that he has so much life insurance policy, he doesn't know what to do. He said he had about 15 or 16, and I was like, wow. And I asked him, have you ever sat down to do an insurance audit to your policies? He said, what does that mean? He said, you need to check these policies. Some of them you took when you were like 20 years and you were paying 10 cedis. What has happened? Have you checked to review them to increase their premium, or you're just still paying 10 cedis? Because if you're still paying 10 cedis and you're still paying 10 cedis, and at the end of the day, the benefit is just 2,000, then really you haven't done anything. So we have to constantly review policy as life circumstances change. When you were renting, you didn't need a home insurance. Now you have your own house. What have you done? Or you're still going with no home insurance. When you didn't have a child, you didn't have income protection because you didn't think it was important. Now you have children. What are you going to do? What are they going to do when you are not around? Or if you have had stroke and you are disabled, you can't do anything. What are the children going to do? I mean, they are all very important decisions we need to take. And then bundling policies, exploring discount by combining multiple insurance policies. You can reduce your premium payments by putting your stuff under one umbrella. So, for example, you can have an umbrella for your pharmacy. If you have about 6, 7 pharmacies across the country, there's a way it can be designed so that your premiums are reduced rather than paying premium for every single pharmacy shop. That's what we call the bundle policies. If you have a fleet of cars, they in under one insurance policy or they are scattered across the industry. I've come across people who have 8 cars, and when you ask them where they are, they will tell you, oh, this one is here, this one is there, this one is there. You lose your fleet discounts because then every insurance company treats you like an individual client. Seeking professional advice. That's I'm an insurance agent, so I cannot end with that. I need to promote myself a bit. So consulting financial advisors for personalized guidance is very important. If you do not understand insurance, it's good to seek advice from those who are insurance professionals. Just as when we need medicine, we come to the pharmacist for advice. It's still very important when you are looking for insurance. You can go to the right source so that you get the right personalized guidance to whatever insurance policy you take. I promised my presentation was going to be simple so that short, so that we can ask questions. I think that is where we are able to answer a lot of things. So thank you so much. And I open it up for questions, please.
Thank you very much. So colleagues, the floor is open. Let's ask our questions. You don't need to raise your hand. You can probably just unmute yourself and talk. Thanks.
Or you can put it in the chat box. Richard will read it, will alert me, and then we can take it from there. Okay, maybe I'll let Richard play and one advert whilst we put our thoughts together, and then we can come back. Richard.
Yes, let it go. Let the advert go. We'll ask questions.
Yeah. Richard, please.
Have you heard of Star Personal Guard? Let me tell you, Star Personal Guard is tailor-made no-frills personal accident policy for everyone. It covers death, permanent disablement, and medical expenses. The policy has 3 main limited options for its target market. We have silver, gold, and platinum options. The silver cover provides a death and permanent disability limit of 5,000 cedis and medical expense limit of 1,000 cedis. The gold cover provides death and permanent disability limit of 10,000 cedis and medical expense limit of 2,000. The last and the widest cover is the platinum cover. It provides a death and permanent disability limit of 20,000 cedis and medical expense limit of 5,000. Also sign up for one of the annual premium packages, which are silver for 100 cedis, gold for 150 cedis, or platinum for 200 cedis. Star Personal Guard, a friend you can trust.
Okay, thank you, Richard. Please, ready for the questions.
Yeah, so colleague, please let's unmute and ask the question. Carl, you want to ask a question? As we wait for others to ask the question, I would like to ask about the income protection policy. Assuming somebody is earning 10,000 cedis a month, so how can the person secure that amount in case the person loses the job or something?
So you can the life planner will talk you through what you can do. You can multiply your income and you can decide, I want to protect myself for 1 million, for example. That's what I want because I know over 5 years, 2 years, or 3 years, this is how much I should earn. And then they'll calculate it based on your age, and then you can pay the premium. That is if that is what you want. So with the discussion with your financial planner, they should always come to a certain kind of sum assured for you. That should be suitable.
But when you
Okay,
say the
thanks.
financial planner, who are these people? Who are these financial planners?
Oh, they are agents.
They are
The
agents.
life insurance agents. Yeah.
Where do we locate them?
Oh, if you get in touch with me, I can get you plenty. We have so many across the country. Actually, Enterprise Life has more than 3,000 agents across the country. If you are interested,
Oh,
I will drop my telephone number and then I can get someone to call you.
okay, perfect. Your telephone number will be helpful.
Okay. So, Richard, can you kindly share the form on the link on the thing so that everybody can fill? Yes. Yes, please. My colleague has shared the link. If you fill your details there, I'll get in touch with you tomorrow and I can get you someone to help you. If you already have some policies and you need someone to just help you understand the kind of policies you have, you can get someone to call you and then help you that to that. That's what I call the self-audit, which is very important. I can see Mr. Tenkwa wants to ask me a question.
Yeah, thank you very much, Abba, for your wonderful presentation.
Thank you.
Yeah, my question is for the health insurance, which of the companies do you work with?
Okay, so for now, we work with ACE Medicals, but ACE unfortunately does not do individual policies. So if you talk about individual, then we'll talk about someone like Premier or Glyco. Some of the health company insurance companies, they do individual, some do group, some do family. So depend on what you want, then we can get you someone. Yes.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Is that it? I like the way you're laughing.
Yeah, I'm fine.
I thought you were going to ask me something to do with the stock insurance.
For the pharmacy,
Yes.
I'm okay. I think what you did for us was we insured all the branches, but then we paid premium for only one of them. So I think it's a good thing. Those of us
Yes.
who are having more than one, yeah, you can actually get a good package from a FUA.
Yeah. So what I did for Mr. Tenka was what I call the bundled product because he had locations across. I mean, you cannot have one pharmacy at Kaswa burning down whilst another pharmacy at Ibri is burning down at the same time. So we did what we call the umbrella cover so that he doesn't pay that much, but he still gets cover from there. So we take into consideration the fact that the probability that they will not be happening at the same time. If they do happen at the same time, that means that Mr. Tinkwa has gone to organize for people to put fire on each of them. Yes.
This is very unlikely.
Highly unlikely.
Yes.
Sister Yuel, you haven't asked me a question. I haven't heard your voice for so long.
Hello. To
Hello.
be frank, I was driving, so I haven't been paying full attention. I just got home.
Oh, for so high.
Yeah, many. Yeah, it's been a while.
Yes, please. It's been a long while. And my greetings to Tony too. Yeah.
I'll tell him.
Okay. Please, if you okay, I can see someone has asked a question. Let me see. Oh, okay, it's my colleague. Okay, so you can kindly just fill the form if you need us to contact you for anything.
Yeah, colleagues, let's talk. I mean, so about health policy as a group. Colleagues, do we think it's something? Okay, first of all, Madam Speaker, is it something that is feasible? And
Oh,
then
yes,
colleagues,
it is. Yes, it's very feasible. Actually, anytime you take anything as a group, it becomes cheaper because the way they look at it is far different from taking something as an individual. And you do get the discounts because you are a group. So we can do health insurance for you as a group, and it's going to be far cheaper than taking it as an individual. So very, very doable. We can even do pensions for you as a group. So if you're interested in saving towards pension, even for your children, we can do it as a group. For my daughter, I've done pensions for her tier 3 because I think if I save money now for her, by the time she's of age, maybe 25, she should have enough money to start life off. So you can do that. You can do group pensions. And we can even do, group home insurance, group motor. So far as you come as a group, it's something we can do. Okay. I can see Carl's hands are up.
So for the group health insurance, what would be the minimum number that you'll be looking at? Assuming it's something that we want to consider.
10 and more.
Okay. And in that case, what percentage discount are we looking at?
I can, as an insurance marketer, I always try to run away from that question because I cannot answer that question for the underwriter. What I can do is I can present the case. I can work with the group to ensure that whatever we get will be a win-win situation. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Madam Juliet, our treasurer.
Yes. Hi, Tony.
Yes.
My internet keeps dropping. I don't know if you realize that. Have you asked me a question? Then I didn't get it. Sorry.
Yeah, I was asking whether you also want to make a comment, but were you able to listen into the presentation?
Yes, yes. I was able to listen to most parts of the presentation until my internet became unstable. But you asked, you did, or is it a written client? Somebody already asked the question that I wanted to ask, so that is fine.
Okay, is it about the group health insurance?
No, it wasn't about the group health insurance. You were asking about how you can insure your salary, or how did you call it?
Yeah, they call it income protection.
The income protection.
Income. Exactly. So
assuming you are earning 100,000 cities now and you want to continue earning 100,000 until you die.
Exactly. But for me, the question will be like, how is that working? So how does that work? I don't know if it's the right forum and if we have time to go into details. So that's something that we can take on the side.
Yes, please.
Exactly. So we take that on the side.
Yes, please. Can you just fill your number for me and I'll get someone to call you? What I like to do with the life policies is because they are so different and there are so many, I would prefer that you get a life, well, we call them the life planners, the planner life. So you get a life planner and then the person books an appointment with you, sits down with you, and I beg you, please ask all the questions because sometimes, and I will be the first to confess, because we, the agents, we are paid per commission, and I hope you understand what I mean. We tend to be in a hurry to close the businesses so that we get our money. So if you give us the chance, we'll quickly close it. And you might leave not really understanding what you bought. After like 6 months or 1 year, you are like saying to yourself, why am I paying this money and what am I getting from it? So if you get a life planner, please sit down with the person, ask all the questions. If you think you don't understand anything, you can always hit me on the side and I would help. But I'll get you someone I'm sure who can attend to you properly. So that shouldn't be a problem.
All right.
Okay. Okay. So can you just enter your details and I'll do that? Okay. And even if you have policies, you can just let the person go through all your policies for you. And then I have a client, what we did was we got to do an audit for the client on his policies. And he ended up canceling one of the policies because he realized that he had bought that one 2 months ago and he actually had another policy that was serving the same purpose. And his deduction was too much. So we did an audit and he was happy. Okay, so we can do that. And it doesn't always mean you should buy a new policy, but at least you understand better what your policies look like. Please, are you okay, Madam Juliet?
Yes, but I have one more question then,
No
following
problem.
up from what you have said. So if with my detail, you get someone to speak with me to do the audits of the policies, is that a free service or do I have to pay for that?
No. Do you know the intermediaries, the agents, we are being paid by the insurance company. So all the service we provide for you is free of charge. And Mr. Tinkwa can bear that in mind. It is important we get referrals. So we make sure that we provide you with the best service so that by the time we are leaving, you can give us a referral. So after I finish speaking with Pharm 2000, I hope you give me another group to talk to.
All right, great. Thank you.
Yeah. And please, you can contact me anytime. Richard, kindly put my number on the chat for me. You can call me anytime and send me WhatsApp. I'm really active on WhatsApp and I will respond. So it's not a problem at all. I thought Carl wanted to ask a question. I saw his hand up, but
no, I think I've asked my question.
okay, sir.
Yeah,
yes, sir.
thank you.
So my number
Harry,
is on the chat.
Harry, any question from you, Harry? Is Henry still there at all? Yeah, Henry, you are still there. Okay, so I think we've exhausted all the questions for now.
Dr. I have one question. Since I have pharmacists online, I wanted to ask. Please, I hear it's the pharmacists who have to prescribe a drug for us, not the doctors. Is that true?
Who wants to answer? Or I should answer.
Yeah, you can go ahead, Tony.
Okay, there are different categories of drugs. In our jurisdiction here in Ghana, there are three categories basically. We have the first category, which we call the OTCs. OTCs means the over-the-counter medicine. So you can just go to the pharmacy and buy, or you can also go to licensed chemical shops. They are, now we call them over-the-counter medicine sellers. But you know them, you used to know them as licensed chemical shops. So you can go to them also and buy. Then we have the second category of drugs, which we call the pharmacy recommended. It's label P. It's not labeled on the package, but in our classification as P. So those ones, they are a bit above the OTC. And drugs, which we call.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay. It seems that there was a light off by the internet trip. But you can hear me?
Yes, please.
Okay. Now, so there's just a minute. There's the third category, which is the prescription-only medicines, which must be sold under prescription. In that case, the prescription in Ghana jurisdiction, the prescription is normally generated by the clinicians. When we say clinicians, basically it means the people you go and meet at the consulting room or at the health facility. These may be medical officers, they may be physician assistants. There may also be clinical pharmacists. Okay, so these people, they can prescribe for you and you bring the prescription to the pharmacy to pick the medicine. So the physician assistants, some of them, or they are also called medical assistants. So, but these people are found at the health centers and they can prescribe for you.
Okay.
So, is it well understood now?
Yes, as you saw me putting down notes, because I've always wondered. So thank you very much for the education.
But in other jurisdictions also, I mean, outside Ghana, but you are in Ghana, that's why I was mentioning jurisdiction. In other jurisdiction, it may differ.
Okay.
Sometimes the doctors may diagnose and refer the patients to a pharmacist, mostly a clinical pharmacist, for the pharmacist to prescribe or manage the patients on medication. Okay. Yes, basically that's how it is. But Ghana
Thank you very much.
Is what I've explained.
Thank you for the education.
Yes.
I couldn't leave without getting some little education from you, so thank you.
So sometimes when you go to the pharmacy, normally we don't normally say pharmacy shops, we say pharmacy.
Yeah.
People, it's either pharmacy or people say drugstore. Drugstore is accepted, but it's not pharmacy shops. So another name is apothecary.
Hey.
Yeah. Oh, you can Google it. Apothecary is the old name for pharmacist, or pharmacy and pharmacist. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Apothecary. What's that?
It says so.
Apothecary. Well,
Yes.
I said that before, so thank you.
Apothe.
ApothanY.
As in a hall. THE. Can you hear me?
Yes, APOTHE. Apothecary.
Yeah, so CARY.
Yes, I got it.
So that's so another. So when you travel out and you see apothecary, it means it's a pharmacy, so you can go there and buy medicine. Otherwise, you travel somewhere and then you'll be looking for pharmacy. They won't understand you, or you ask people, "I want a pharmacy." They will never know what you mean. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
So you're welcome.
Okay, and please, I hope you all enjoy the presentation. And please, I'll be on standby for any call. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And thank you also, colleagues, for making the time. I know it's still middle of the week and most of you are busy. So without much ado, it's 8:15 currently. So we wish all of us good night and a good rest for tomorrow and the rest of the week. Thank you all. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
We hail you as King, Obadiah, Nyame. Everything you made shall declare your glory, that you're an awesome God. You're an awesome God. You're an awesome God. We hail you as King, Obadiah, Yummy. Everything you've made shall declare your glory. You're an awesome God. You're an awesome God. Such an awesome God. You're an awesome God. Such an awesome God. You're an awesome God. Master, mind, master planner.